Alright, this game was a really nice game because I was actually losing in this game, and I don't know, it took a miraculous last move to win this game for me. I'm playing the black pieces against a very good 1500 plus level player, and a standard king's pawn opening, French defense, and he brings out his queen, which is a very aggressive move. I respond with my C pawn. He brings out his bishop. I bring out my knight, and I bring out my knight because I want to exchange my knight for his bishop. I always prefer a bishop over a knight, and after the knights come out, I move my pawn because I want to move my second pawn after that and be able to attack the queen with my bishop. He brings out his knight, and I attack the queen, and at the same time gain some tempo. Then I move my pawn to prevent his bishop from pinning my knight. Then I develop my bishop, and at this point I want to encourage another trade, an exchange of his bishop for my knight. So after he brings out his knight, I move my pawn, and at that point he either has to move back and lose tempo, or he has to exchange. So he exchanges. So at this point, I'm happy with where I stand. I have my bishop here, and my king is castled. The only problem I have is my pawn structure right now. What happens next? This next move is actually an accident. It was a computer error. So then he castles. I didn't. Then I bring out my rook. I make a silly move there. He moves his knight, so I have to come back, and he brings out his pawn, and I solidify my pawn structure with the three white squared pawns. And here is the move that he makes that actually sort of puts him ahead, and it's the knight right here. I bring my pawn out, and at that point there's no denying it. I'm going to lose a material, but that's fine because I've got another plan here. I want to fork the king and the rook. I can't do it yet because I want to get that queen out of there. So at that point right here, as you can see, the queen is in a really good spot. All he has to do is move over one spot to G. What is it? Oh, actually F. Yeah, G8, and it's checkmate. So I have to bring my bishop out here to protect, and I bring my queen out just see if he'll miss my attack on the G2 square, and he doesn't. Then I move my queen back over, hoping to be able to take that pawn in the middle, and also at the same time check the king. He protects. I bring my rook over. He takes his king over. I bring my rook up so I can win that pawn, because at this point he doesn't have enough protecting it. And he makes a very interesting move. He brings out his pawn. And so at this point I say, okay, well, I'm going to take this pawn, and if he can either, if he exchanges, I'm still up a pawn in that scenario. But instead of taking my pawn, he moves his bishop. He takes my pawn with his pawn over in the G5 square. And I was really left baffled what to do here. I was considering taking his rook with my rook. I was considering taking his pawn with my pawn. Well, what should I do here? Well, if I take, he's going to take with this queen, and I'm forced to move over here, and at that point it's an easy checkmate. So that wasn't a possibility, but either way he was going to be able to take this, and then there's going to be some problems over here. So if he had moved his pawn down here, if he had taken, I can't take, because if I take, then his queen takes and I'm dead. And if I don't take, then he moves his pawn over here, checking my king. I have to take because I can't go over here or here. And once he does that, then he comes down here and checks my king again. And it's just going to be bad news. So this was a really bad situation for me. I'm thinking at this point, I'm basically lost here until I realize, oh, wait a second, I've got the checkmate move, and I bring my rook over to the h4 square, and he obviously has nowhere to go because of my queen over here, my rook.